All right, today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A all about eBay and Amazon and Facebook dropshipping. As always, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. So if you guys have any questions about dropshipping, about making money online, anything like that, just ask it in the live chat. I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. And we also like to have some fun doing this as well. So if you guys aren't here live, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification so you get alerted every time I go live, but we usually go live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, I am in Arizona. I'm always traveling around the country, travel full time. So let me know where in the world you guys are chiming in from, and then let me know what your questions are. All right, I already see we have one thumbs up, so thank you for whoever gave a thumbs up. And I would appreciate if any of you who drop in this chat to give the video a nice big thumbs up. All right. So here we have the first question about Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. So the question is about how much money you need to get started. Now, if you don't know what Facebook Marketplace dropshipping is, that is where we are dropshipping products onto Facebook Marketplace. So it's not that we're using Facebook ads to drive traffic to like a Shopify store or another website. No, we are selling items directly on Facebook Marketplace. We're listing them up for sale. We're getting the images and descriptions from websites like Amazon.com. And then once the item sells on Facebook Marketplace, we just then go buy the item from Amazon, and Amazon will ship the item directly to the customer. So that's Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. So the question is, how much money do you need to get started with that? So as you can imagine, with this business model, you don't need a lot of upfront investment because you're not buying the inventory up front. That is one of the largest expenses with most e-commerce businesses. And this is why I love dropshipping so much, is because the cost of getting started is lower. And because you're not putting so much money into the business when you start, that also means that the risk is lower as well, because you don't have as much that you can lose. So for example, the inventory, you don't buy the inventory from the supplier like Amazon.com until someone buys the item from you on Facebook. So again, you're not investing in all this inventory that might never sell. You also don't have to pay for advertising. Now, paying for advertising can be very costly because you're paying to have people to put ads like on Facebook or on YouTube. And then if people click those ads, you get charged for it. And then they land on your website. But if no one actually buys from you, then all you're doing is wasting money on those ads. But that doesn't exist with Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. Facebook, they have this marketplace. There's already people there. They're already ready to buy items. So the people are there and you don't need to pay to get them there. You go where they already are. The other big expense that you have with most e-commerce businesses is just the cost of setting it up. And luckily, if you have a Facebook account, which is free to sign up with, you get Facebook Marketplace as well, which is also free. So it doesn't even cost you money to sign up to use Facebook Marketplace. Now, there is some software that I suggest you get in order to have your store run more efficiently and as automated as possible. So there's really two software that I recommend for Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. The first one is the one that my team has actually created. It's called the Marketplace Helper. And what that will do is allow you to quickly list items onto Facebook Marketplace from websites like Amazon.com. So just grabs the images, the description, pulls it over into Facebook Marketplace, takes the price and mark it up as well. Does all that for you in a second. And that should be linked up in the description of this video for you to check that out. And the second one is AutoDS. So what AutoDS will do is if the price changes on Amazon.com or the item goes out of stock or any other supplier, then you'll get an email about it so that you can then update the stock or price changes on Facebook Marketplace. So you don't constantly have to check Amazon for those price and stock changes. It's all done for you, the checking of it automatically. Then you just make the changes yourself. So the cost of that will be about $35 a month, I believe, for both those software. After that, the only thing that you need is Facebook Marketplace. They're going to hold your money. They don't release it to you right away. So what happens is you need a tracking number that shows that the item's been delivered. Then a few days later, they release the money to you. Or if the tracking number doesn't show it's delivered, they'll still release the money to you after about 21 days after the order. So you need a credit card to hold you over in the meantime. So if you have that enough on a credit card to be able to do that, I suggest, yeah, ideally at least $5,000. Even if you just have $1,000, that's okay to start. You can buy the products with a credit card. Then once Facebook releases the money to you, pay off the credit card and then reuse it for another purchase. Like I said, $5,000 to start is really ideal. You can do it with $1,000, hopefully with the expectation that the credit card company will then raise your limit as you go forward and as you constantly pay off your credit card. But that would be my advice. If you're just working with straight cash, you could do it with 500. You're not going to be able to scale that quickly though. So it would take you longer to scale. So the less capital you have, either available credit on your credit card or just cash that you're trying to use, the slower it is going to be for you to grow. But really, if you have 5,000, that's plenty of room. You're not going to max that out too quickly. But yeah, you could do with 500, just going to be a bit slow. And let me just write something down before I forget, because I want to make sure that all those links I mentioned do get added to the description. All right, so link to helper. Cool. All right, so is your course relevant to eBay dropshipping in the UK? So I do have a course that teaches you how to dropship onto eBay. It teaches you how to do it from wholesale suppliers, which is fully compliant with eBay's terms of service, and also shows you how to do it with retail suppliers, which I know a lot of you are interested in doing. And that does work without a doubt for the United States. As a US citizen, as someone here in the United States, that's what I know and that's what I teach. It's not specifically for people who live in the UK. With that said, I have a lot of students in the UK and they've been able to adapt it for their market. But like I said, I can't give specific help for the small changes between the US market and the UK market because I don't live there, so I don't have that experience. Hey, what's up, Claudio in Brazil? Would you say dropshipping from Amazon to eBay is as safe as dropshipping from Walmart to eBay? No. So eBay, like I said, the only dropshipping that's compliant with their terms of service is wholesale dropshipping. Now, a lot of people will continue to do retail dropshipping. So if you don't know the difference, wholesale dropshipping is when you get items from a wholesale distributor, wholesale supplier, direct from the manufacturer, direct from a supplier, and they dropship the items to eBay for you. That is allowed on eBay. What is not allowed is retail dropshipping, which is where you're buying the item from Amazon or Walmart, and they're shipping the item to your customers on eBay. Now, people continue to do it, the retail dropshipping. I continue to do it because it does work. We do make money from it. As long as we continue to make money from it, we're going to continue to do it. We have seen, though, that eBay will take those retail dropshipping listings, and if they catch on to it, will lower them in the search results. Now, in general, I would say that eBay really doesn't like Amazon. So what we have found is that, or what I would advise is do not dropship from Amazon to eBay, especially as a beginner. I just think that is when eBay is going to get more upset when they see that you're doing that, because they do not like Amazon at all. So I've been saying this for a while now. Hopefully it's clear now, but my advice is do not dropship Amazon to eBay. David said, is SKUGrid as good as AutoDS? I just started to use AutoDS. Hearing a lot of people moving to SKUGrid. Yeah, so both AutoDS and SKUGrid, these are software companies that created software that will allow us to quickly list items onto eBay and will reprice and restock those items. So I mentioned this before with Facebook Marketplace, where if the price changes on your supplier's website, like let's say homedepot.com, we need the price to change on eBay for us, or we need, if the item goes out of stock on Home Depot, for the item to go out of stock on eBay for us. So that's what the software does. Both AutoDS and SKUGrid do that. Now, there are pros and cons to each of them, but overall, for beginners, I really recommend AutoDS. I feel like it's very user and beginner friendly. I really like the layout of it. I really think it's a very clean, nice looking interface that you can use. So that's the one that I recommend for beginners. SKU definitely does work. I find it's a little bit more complicated, a little bit more advanced. So that's why I tell people AutoDS. And you're always going to hear people who prefer one over the other. They might bash one, bash the other one. You're always going to hear people on both sides of this. You're always going to hear people moving from one to the other, and then you hear people moving from that one back to the first one. So, yeah. David also wants to know, would it be wrong to hire a virtual assistant at the beginning of your eBay dropshipping journey, or should I build the business first? It's a very good question, David. So if you don't know what a virtual assistant is, a virtual assistant is someone that you can hire to help you run your business, and they work completely remotely. So you usually don't ever meet up with them in person. Now, for purposes of dropshipping, when we hire virtual assistants, they're almost always people who live in the Philippines or people who live in India, where the cost of living is much lower. So we can hire them for just a few dollars an hour, or contract with them for just a few dollars an hour, which is a good deal for us, and it's a good rate for them as well. So that's what virtual assistants are, and they can run a lot of our business, right? They list items, they can fulfill orders, they can do product research, they can do customer service. So if you really train the right virtual assistant, they can run a lot of your business for you, and you can pay them what's a good wage for them, what's a good deal for you, and then you can have someone basically running your whole business for a good price for you. Now, I think for most people, it's not a smart idea to hire a virtual assistant right away, because you don't know the business yet. You can't really train a virtual assistant until you really understand the business better yourself. So my recommendation is to build up the business yourself, learn how it goes, and then hire a virtual assistant. Because a virtual assistant's also an investment. It does cost money, so you don't want to be spending money on a virtual assistant when you're not making enough to really cover their expenses while still making the profit that you're looking for. But what I will also say is that once you start to scale up, my mistake with virtual assistants was that I didn't hire virtual assistant early enough. And then my second mistake was that I didn't trust that virtual assistant enough to give them enough work fast enough. So I was doing it all by myself, even as my eBay business started to really grow and really escalate. And then it took me a long time to hire the first VA, which was a mistake. Should have done it sooner. And then even after I hired them, I didn't give them enough responsibility. So I was still doing a lot myself. So I really think it's a smarter idea once you start to scale up, start to look for a virtual assistant and hire them maybe a little bit sooner than you think you need to. And then start giving them more responsibility sooner than you think you need to. It's very hard to do because you don't want to let go of control of your business or any aspect of your business. It's very common for entrepreneurs, even more experienced entrepreneurs. I know it's still a struggle for me, but I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it at hiring virtual assistants and letting them run more of my business for me so that I can then concentrate on the bigger things that really need my attention and not the small tasks that I can easily outsource. And the sooner you can do that, the better, because what you'll find is that you'll get so busy, you don't even have time to hire or train a virtual assistant after a while. So you want to hire a virtual assistant before you get to that point. So speaking of which, what do I think about letting people from Fiverr find and list items for my eBay dropshipping store? So people from Fiverr, it's basically like hiring a virtual assistant, which we were just talking about. Now, I do not like hiring on Fiverr for that specific task, which is finding and listing items. In fact, I don't like hiring on Fiverr at all for virtual assistants that I'm going to have a kind of a longer term relationship with. Fiverr is really better for like these gigs, as they call them, where you just have them do like one-off projects. So I use it a lot for my thumbnails on YouTube. I hire someone there to do that. I have a website that I use for my course, like dropshippingtitans.com, and my own personal website, pauljlipsky.com. Anytime I have trouble with that, like I don't know how to do something on that, like domain issues, I always hire someone from Fiverr. So, things like that, very small one-off projects. When I need like logos done for my eBay store, for instance, hire someone on Fiverr for that. But for these more long-term relationships where they're actually going to be kind of working with me more long-term, I do not suggest Fiverr, because it's not really that relationship where you're just going to hire them for a gig. You're going to have like a longer-term kind of relationship with them. So I really suggest Online Jobs. That should be linked up in the description of my videos, but I'll put the affiliate link I have in the chat right now. That's the best place that I hire virtual assistants from. I really like them. You can hire them. You have a direct relationship with them, so you're not paying through an intermediary, so they get 100% of the money that you send them. And so I really, really like Online Jobs. I find some great virtual assistants there. Now, the other problem with Fiverr is I've actually made a YouTube video, you should go check it out, where I paid for a bunch of gigs on Fiverr. I spent like a few $100s on it and had them do this. I had them find and list items for me, and they weren't good. They were not good listings at all. And in fact, what I did was I think I paid for like 3 services, and then on another Fiverr account, I paid for the same 3 services. And for one of the services I paid for, they gave the exact same list of items to both accounts. So they're obviously reusing these lists, and they're just making a quick buck off of you. And hey, in Indiana, David says, does eBay allow you to open more than one store? By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video, I would appreciate if you gave the video a thumbs up, just to let me know that you're enjoying it. And if you're not enjoying this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs down twice, so I know that you really don't like the video. But David says, does eBay allow you to open more than one store? Do I need a different email address to open another eBay store? Yeah, so eBay does allow you to open more than one store, but you do need a different email address for each eBay store. It's totally allowed to have multiple stores. Now, really, yeah, what eBay doesn't want you to do is like open up a whole bunch of stores really fast, and they're not going to be happy with that. So what I would recommend is open up one store, go with that store, run that store, and then when you feel ready to add a second store, then add a second store. Don't do it right away. There's no reason to do it as a beginner. So you'll know when you're ready for a second store. Now, I often get asked, why would you want to create a second store? Why? Many reasons. So if you're already selling on eBay, let's say you're doing reselling, you're like going to thrift stores, buying items at thrift stores, and you're using your account for that, and you want to start doing something like dropshipping. Well, then I would open a second account and use that account just for dropshipping. Yes, it'll be fresh. There'll be no feedback on that account, but you'll keep everything separate. Okay? It'll be very separate, organized. Feedback isn't as important as you might think it is, so it's totally fine to start over with that. Also, if you're doing retail dropshipping and wholesale dropshipping, you might want to keep those in separate accounts as well. If you're dropshipping from one supplier and it's going really well, or maybe you have like 2 suppliers and it's going really well, you might want to create separate stores for them. Again, just to stay organized with this. So one thing to know is that, again, you're allowed to have multiple eBay stores. You are, if something happens to one of your stores, so if one of your stores gets suspended because, let's say, you have too many defects, or there's a problem, sometimes you can get suspended for not paying your eBay invoices, which is going to become less of a problem because they're just going to take the money out. But that's a common reason people in the past got suspended. Then technically eBay can suspend all of your stores that are related to it, that are connected with it, that are yours. But they don't always do that. So just keep that in mind. I wish I knew. So this one really bugs me, Paul. So why does Facebook offer categories for massage stuff with the shipping option if they're just going to reject any listing? It's a mystery to me. So on Facebook Marketplace, when you're listing items up, you can choose which category the item belongs in. So for instance, water bottle. I actually don't know if there's what category that would be in. I've never sold water bottles there, but I'm sure there's a category that's like home, somewhere in the home subcategory is something like a water bottle or something. Maybe it's in the sports category. And there's a category for massage stuff. But anytime I list massage stuff, Facebook Marketplace just rejects it. So after you list the item, it does go through a review process. First, it's a computer that reviews it, and then you can always ask for a manual review if the item is rejected. And Facebook rejects items for a number of reasons. The two primary ones I've seen is if it's anything related to like health, you're making any sort of health claims, they'll reject it. That's what we've seen for massage stuff, is that Facebook thinks you're making some sort of health claim and they reject it, which is strange. I mean, it's a massager. It's not like a crazy thing. It's just like one of those things that you rub on your shoulders. I don't know. They've always been rejected for me. And then the other one is any sort of knife. So we got in trouble with that. Not in trouble. Those items were rejected when we listed up some like cutlery and some survival gear that had those knives in it. So I don't know why they give you the option to do that when they will just reject you. It's just a little quirk. Okay. Hi, Paul. Any books you recommend? Yeah, there's a lot I recommend. I'm really big into self-improvement. So a book I read recently was by Cal Newport called Digital Minimalism. And I read that in early January, and it really had a good impact on my life, because as a result of that book, I started spending less time consuming media and more time going out and kind of like living my life, right? Obviously, I'm on the computer a lot throughout the day because the way I make money is online, right? And I run many online businesses. I have a lot of obligations, obligations to my team, obligations to you guys on YouTube, a large obligation to my students as well. So I need to be in constant contact, right? I need to always be online like every single day. But that doesn't mean that I always have to be online, right? When I'm not working, I want to give myself like a digital break. And that book really put things into perspective for me, because I really felt like before reading that book, I really felt like I was spending too much time on the internet, too much time on my phone, and it wasn't what was making me happy. So there's a lot of great information you can learn online, and I think it's important to always be educating myself. So I always spend time every single day. I put it aside. It's a specific amount of time for watching YouTube videos of channels that I enjoy, that I think are really educational and really improve my life, and put aside time for like podcasts and things like that. But outside that time, I want to go out and actually live more and not spend so much time on my phone. So Cal Newport's Digital Minimalism is a most recent book that I read that I think had a big impact. No, Mark, we actually left Texas pretty fast. I was in there for just like a hot minute because that was when the storm was happening, and we were kind of afraid we wouldn't have access to clean water. So we just kind of went through the state pretty fast. We're in Arizona right now. Hey, what's up, Kimberly in Virginia? I've never used Wish, so I'm not sure. Hey, what's up, Rich? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Paul in Omaha, for saying hi. What do you use to track Facebook Marketplace tracking numbers and items? Yeah, we use Excel spreadsheets. Sorry for stopping so much to drink water. It's very dry here in the desert. Not used to it. How does the posting work when you list an item on eBay? Does the item post expire? Do you have to buy posts? Especially in AutoDS, do you have to purchase posts? I'm not sure what you mean by posts. Do you mean like listings? So Brian, listings, when you sign up for an eBay account, you get a certain number of free listings every single month. After that, you have to pay for each additional listing. Or you can sign up for a subscription on eBay, and a store subscription, and it costs money to do that every month. But because of that, you'll get more free listings every month. And those will automatically renew every 30 days. So you'll get enough free listings as a beginner, so you don't have to worry about it. But after a time, you'll start seeing you're getting charged for those listings, and that's what they are. They're listing fees. And then at that point, you would want to look to see whether it's worth it for you to upgrade to a paid subscription, so you get more free listings. Can I do Amazon FBA online without handling anything like eBay dropshipping? Yeah, you can, Red. So This is not something that I've talked about on the YouTube channel. I would love to find someone to bring on to talk about this. It's called online arbitrage. And with online arbitrage, the way it works is it's very similar to dropshipping, which is why I think you guys would love it, which is why I think it's so cool. But basically what it is that we're finding products, like let's say on homedepot.com. Okay. So maybe we found like a bunch of hammers that are all on sale. So like half off. So we're going to buy all those hammers. Maybe we'll buy like 10 of them, and we're going to ship them to a ship center, a pack center. Not shipping to our house. We're going to ship to like a company that will pack it up for us. So when that company gets it, they will repackage it and send it over to Amazon for us. Now Amazon will hold those hammers in their warehouse, and the item will now be on Amazon.com. If anyone buys it from us on Amazon, Amazon will ship the item from their warehouse to the customer. So it's completely hands off with this model. And then obviously we get the money from there. So it's very similar to drop shipping. The only difference is we buy the items first and then list them up for sale. But with drop shipping, you sell the item first. Sorry, you sell the item first and then buy it from your supplier. And there are pros and cons to each. So with drop shipping, obviously the benefit is you're not going to buy items that aren't going to sell. You're selling them first. So the risk is kind of lower there. And and so you also cut out that middle person, because you don't have to ship it to a pack center. It ships directly to the customer, so you don't even have to worry about any sort of shipping charge. With something like OA, online arbitrage, the benefit is that you can take advantage of those deals, right? If you see hammers that are 50% off, you can take advantage of that now and then make money from it later, in like a much bigger way, because you could buy a whole bunch of them right now. And that's totally allowed by Amazon as well. For eBay, that if you want to do something like online arbitrage for eBay, it would work a little bit differently. So what you would have to do is actually get the items shipped to you. So with online arbitrage, you don't have to use that middleman. You don't have to use that pack center. You can have the items sent to you, and then you can repackage them and send them to Amazon, or you could hold on to them and then ship them to customers that buy them from you on eBay. But if you want to be hands off, then you would use that pack center. Hello. Hey, Mike. Mike wants to know if this is a stupid question. It's not a stupid question. It's a really good question, in fact. Should I be tracking and reporting cash back for taxes? The short answer is I can't answer this for you. You got to talk to a CPA. I've done a lot of research on this because it's not a stupid question. It's a confusing question. And all the research I've done, it kind of makes it like this gray area. I'm not sure of the answer, according to my research. You should really talk to your CPA and explain them exactly what it is. Explain them how it's part of your business and not like you're just making a little bit of cash back here and there. It's like part of your business. And then see what they say, and really get their opinion, and you should form a plan with them. James wants to know, can we dropship with Walmart Plus? If not, what's a way around it? All right. So, Walmart Plus is a subscription service very similar to Amazon Prime. So what you do is you sign up for Walmart Plus, and then because of that, you get free shipping on pretty much all orders, where normally you only get free shipping on orders that are over $35 on Walmart. So you get free shipping on all orders and fast shipping as well. So Walmart, it seems very promising at first, this service. But what ended up happening was a lot of drop shippers were using Walmart Plus, and then Walmart said, we really didn't intend this for resellers. So while you can continue to buy from Walmart.com, we don't want you buying with Walmart Plus. So many dropshippers had their Walmart Plus membership canceled by Walmart, but many dropshippers didn't. So it's really kind of like luck whether you get suspended for it or not suspended, whether you get your membership canceled or not. So my best advice, try it. Sign up for it, try it. You'll probably be okay for a while, and then there's a chance that they're going to cancel your membership. If they do cancel your membership, you could sign up for a new Walmart account and a new Walmart Plus account, but they might catch on to that again and cancel it. I would recommend you only sign up for the monthly payments. Don't pay for a whole year up front for that reason. Uber Smooth says, hey, what happens when Lowe's sells a product for $100? How can you sell it for a higher price? So Lowe's is a website that I used to dropship from a lot on eBay. And they were really great for a while. Well, actually, no, scratch that. They were never great. They were actually pretty terrible. It's one like the worst websites ever. But they had a lot of great deals that made it so I can make a lot of money using Lowe's. Now, over the years, it's become harder and harder because a big part of that game was using Lowe's coupons, which doesn't work as well as it used to. Actually, it's pretty much dead, that whole system. So dropshipping from Lowe's isn't what it used to be. And it's just such a pain, their website, and their customer service is terrible. But in general, the more general question here is, what happens if you buy an item for $100 from your supplier, if your supplier sells an item for $100, how can you sell it for a higher price? So we just mark it up on eBay or wherever we're selling it, Facebook Marketplace. We mark it up enough so that we cover the cost of the item, the sales tax if we have to pay sales tax, the shipping cost if we have to pay shipping costs, the cost of the fee that the marketplace charges, and then more for profit. So we mark it up, and people will buy it from you. They'll buy it from you because a lot of people just like the convenience of shopping on the platform that they're on, and they don't want to kind of shop around. And that's the reason why it works. Is drop shipping. It works because of the convenience. There have been middlemen for centuries. It's just the way commerce works. Always one person who's finding the items somewhere and connecting them with the right customers, and that's what we're doing with this model. Yes. So there is a way to do this, and to connect the Shopify store to Facebook Marketplace. It's challenging to do. It's very buggy, and it doesn't quite work right now for new accounts. So it's something I'm actively working on finding a solution for. I'm very eager to make videos about it. Actually, it's kind of frustrating because I try to plan out my YouTube videos in advance. Like I'll have like a spreadsheet where I list like what I want to make videos about. And right now, around this time, I was planning on making videos about this exact thing, but it's just not working the way it's supposed to be. So that's kind of slowed me down. So now I don't have like a video to make this week, but that's okay. I'll figure out something to make. The aquaponics guy. I went from a free eBay account with 10 listing limit, and I just got the starter eBay store, still limited to 10 listings. The only way to raise your limit, you can't sign up for a store subscription and expect your limits to go up. It's not the way it works. What you have to do is call eBay and ask for a limit increase. Now, they won't just raise your limit for no reason. They're going to raise it if you've maxed out your listings and you're actually making sales. So every 30 days, contact eBay, ask for a limit increase. And if you're making sales, if you're listing items, they should increase your limit. And they'll do that every 30 days. Favorite retail and wholesale suppliers. So retail is Walmart and Home Depot are the biggest ones. So those are the big ones. For wholesale, I don't talk about the wholesale suppliers that I've used because that's like part of the secret. Okay, if I give it away, it just doesn't work. You got to find them on your own. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure maybe you didn't set it up right. I would contact them. Hey, thanks for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Let's get social. Wants to know if Facebook collects and sends out taxes to the states, or do I have to send to the states myself? Good question. That's like, I keep saying that today, but it is a good question. So, yeah, sales tax is a tricky thing. It was very easy in the past because if we sold online, we didn't have to worry about sales tax at all. Those were the good days. No, I'm kidding. The bad days were when that rule changed and we suddenly had to worry about sales tax, but we had to worry about it for each individual state, and that was just like overwhelming and a mess. Luckily, it's become very easy because now these marketplaces like eBay, like Amazon, like Facebook Marketplace, these are all marketplaces, they are responsible for collecting and remitting the sales tax for us. So they do it for most states, not every state, but most states. So just like with eBay and Amazon, Facebook, because they're collecting the money, they are collecting the sales tax and they are sending it to the states for us for most states. Have you done WS to Facebook Marketplace? What's WS? Jay, what's up with the five? Jay's very competitive. So he did $5 1 cent super chat. Thanks, Jay. Paid for my, between the two of those, you guys paid for my lunch today. But Jay wants to know, I'm trying to get tax exempt. I'm following your course. How do I get the resale certificate? Yeah, so Jay, it depends on the state that you live in. So let me show you. It's a good time to do a screen share. Let me pull up my computer. And actually, let me go to this one. Okay, let me share screen here. So this is like literally what I do to find a resale certificate. I just go to Google and I type in, let's say, New York resale certificate. And because every state's going to be different, so what you can do is kind of go to the first organic search result. Just ignore anything that says ads. So this one says ST120, Department of Taxation and Finance. And here we go. So like this is literally it. Or actually what's better to do is New York, apply for resale certificate. And boom, tax.newyork.gov, how to register for New York State sales tax. So then I would read how to do it here. You can do apply for resale certificate. Jay, I'm not sure where you live. I'm going to assume you live in Hawaii. So you type in Hawaii. How to get a resale certificate in Hawaii. I like the ones from the actual state. So this is not from the state. Let's check out this one. Resale certificate for Hawaii. This article might help. You know, just make sure you're not paying a service to do it for you. Let's see, apply for resale certificate, Arizona. That's where I am now. The first results. You know, they kind of tell you about how to do it. So yeah, that's the best way to do it, is just literally Google it. All right, next question. How long does it take to get paid on Facebook Marketplace? So like I mentioned before, Facebook, they hold your money. And the reason they do that is because of, you know, if you don't ship out the item to the customer, they'll refund the customer. So if you upload a tracking number and that tracking number is UPS, USPS, or FedEx, they're actually able to track it and shows that it was delivered. A few days after it's delivered, that money will be released to you. If you upload a tracking number and it doesn't show it's delivered for whatever reason, they'll still release the money to you after like about 21 days after the sale happened, as long as the customer doesn't complain that they never received the item. Not really. So Facebook Marketplace, I'm still trying to figure out their algorithm entirely. I think there is some random element in it. There definitely are some interesting trends in terms of their algorithm. So if you're not sure what we're talking about with the algorithm, so algorithm is you know, we list items up for sale on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace. what determines what items get in front of the customers? Because sometimes you can log on to Facebook Marketplace as a buyer and you'll see items right there on your homepage. What determines what items will appear right there on your homepage as a buyer? Now, we know part of it is based on what we do as buyers, or what your buyers do as buyers. So for instance, if you go to let me see if I can show you. This would be kind of cool to see. Let me go to Facebook, and then I'll share my screen. As long as there's nothing on here. That's weird. No, okay. So let me share my screen here. So this is when I go onto my Facebook Marketplace, which I've used before to buy stuff. Okay, what do I see here? I see they're advertising a lot of cars to me, motorcycles, okay? And if I scroll down here, you can see they have these one wheels right here. So I use Facebook Marketplace. The most recent thing that I purchased were these one wheels, okay? So I was searching a lot on here for one wheels. So what are they advertising to me? Well, more one wheels and also cars and motorcycles. For some reason, they think that those are related, even though they're not. Also, I'm into RVs. I travel full time in a camper van, so I think that's why they're showing me an RV here. And I've also searched for like furniture to show as examples in YouTube videos, and so I think that's why they're showing me furniture here. So they see what my buying history is, what my search history is, and they're going to show those items to me as a result. So if when I was actively looking for one of these one wheels, that's like all I was seeing. Every time I would come to the homepage, it would just be full of one wheels and different electric things like that. Yeah, and before that, like even what you sell. So I was selling video games on this account. And now there's video games down here. Now I haven't done that in a while, so now these video games are down here. But again, when I was actually selling them, they would actually appear up here. Now that might be because I was selling them. It might be because I was searching for them to see how much other people were selling them for. But really, they see what you're looking for and what you're searching for as a buyer, and they're more likely to put that in front of you as a buyer. So what that means is that there's a certain element that you can't control, right? You can't control what buyers are searching for. But what you can do is you can see, you can find out what people are buying and then list up more of those types of products, right? That's helpful to do. Now, the other component of this is on the other side of it. What happens as we list items as sellers? And what we've noticed is some not strange things, just we've seen some interesting patterns. So some patterns like our newest listings tend to get sales faster. It's almost like we list items and they'll either sell quickly or they won't sell at all. And there are ways to refresh listings, and if you do that, then it makes it more likely that it will sell again. So what I think might be happening in this comment is that maybe older sellers aren't listing as much because they feel like they already have a bunch of listings, but those listings tend not to sell as fast as newer listings. So just interesting stuff like that. I'm scared to use my VA for Facebook Marketplace. I'm afraid I'll lose my shipping option. It's not something I can't say that would happen. I don't think that would happen, but I've never let a VA into any of the Facebook Marketplace accounts that I've worked with, so I can't say for sure whether that happened, though I don't know why it would. How do you write off VAs on a tax return? Can you only show remittance receipts? That's something you guys speak to a CPA about. Can I dropship on eBay with a mix of suppliers? Yeah, you can do a mix of suppliers. Again, not a fan of Amazon for eBay. But yeah, I mean, I've run like Walmart, Home Depot into the same account. I haven't heard of this. I mean, so I don't know why they're doing that. I'm not sure what that's about. Are you in the US? Is this a US account? Mm-hmm. Salad. How does the shipping process work? Yeah, if you're drop shipping AliExpress to eBay, then once the person orders the item from you on eBay, you just turn around, buy from AliExpress, and the seller on AliExpress will ship the item directly to your customer. Accepted a sale on eBay and sent off the invoice, but they haven't paid. What can I do? I do not allow people to pay or buy items from me on eBay unless they pay right away. So I recommend you do the same thing. Otherwise, you run into these issues and there's such a pain. So that would be my recommendation. All right, so you were doing some research and you found products that were available on eBay and both another retail store, but they were cheaper on eBay. What do? Find other products. So generally that happens either for one of two reasons. One, because the person selling them on eBay is getting them at wholesale pricing from somewhere else. So they're able to get it for cheaper. Or they are doing, like I mentioned before, online arbitrage or some form of arbitrage where they are able to get that item while it's on sale, they hold on to it and then sell it later. So either that person's going to run out of stock and then you can sell and have a sell it for the right price, or you just go and find other items, or you can even sell those items. If you have better keywords, better photos, then that item you can actually sell it even though it's available for cheaper. Yeah, for Facebook, I would not drop ship using AliExpress. The shipping time is way too long. Yeah, so yeah, again, I would not use Fiverr because my challenge really showed that a lot of them use recycled lists, but you can always hire someone temporarily using online jobs for that. No, not really. About the same, I'd say. Yeah, all my courses come with a 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. Um, so yeah, if you join the course and you don't like it, you can get your money back. Just email Paul at Paul J Lipsky within 30 days, not within a month, within 30 days. There's a difference. So just because you join on the first of a month doesn't mean the 30 days might be up. If it's 30, the month has 31 days, then it's going to be up before the end of the month. 30-day money back guarantee. I think there's plenty of time. And that's not set by me. That's set by the payment processor. That's the last day I can physically give a refund. So I give you guys the maximum time available to check it out, see if it's a good fit for you and if you like it. Yeah, so that's another way of doing it. Very complicated, but it does work. So with Facebook Marketplace, the exact margins, what I'll say is that the margins are really good in Facebook Marketplace. Do not go down on Facebook Marketplace. Do not try to get razor thin margins. It's not necessary. The margins on Facebook Marketplace are good and they should stay good. So let's keep them good. What software or note-taking skills do you use to stay organized with all your projects? I'm using OneNote and Google Drive, but need a solution all under one hood. I don't have an all under one hood solution. So I primarily use kind of maybe 5 different systems to stay organized. So, yeah, so I use obviously calendar, Google Calendar for to remind myself of events coming up. Don't use Google Calendar a lot. For anything that I need a reminder about, I literally use the Reminders app that comes with the MacBook and on the iPhone. Built in, very easy to use. I can tell my watch to set remind me about something. So I use that a lot. I'm like, oh yeah, like in a month, I need to remember to do this. I'll put it in to remind my reminders, and then that day I'll get an alert about it. I don't like to keep things in my mind that don't need to be there. So that's why I use the Reminder app a lot. It's like one of my main things that I use. for that kind of stuff. But in terms of organizing ideas and projects and things like that, I like to try to keep things in Google Drive because then it's more long-term storage, safe in there. You could always, if you accidentally delete something, you can always recover it. So I like to keep things more long-term in there. I also use the Notes app on my MacBook and on my phone because that's very convenient, very easy. But if something gets deleted from that, if you accidentally backspace, you can't really get it back. So I don't like to use that a lot. It's more for like quick things. I just quickly want to jot some notes down, brainstorm some ideas. I'll use that. Some things that aren't really that important, some things that I just need to quickly be able to access at any time, I'll use that for that. But if everything gets deleted in that, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I don't try to keep anything important in that. But really my best brainstorming, I don't have it with me right here, is done in my notebook. I have a physical paper notebook, and I just found that organizing ideas with that is the way my brain works, just allows me to really kind of visualize and feel what it is that I'm writing out and those ideas. I can scratch stuff out. So I use those to set all my goals for each month, and then I break those down into, before each week, I set my goals up for the week, and then each day I set my goals up for the day. And that really is the best thing, that notebook. Because I find that when I have like a to-do list, like on a computer, it gets overwhelming. I put way too much in there because it's so easy to add stuff on there. And with a notebook, I really have to be careful what I write down, right? It's not as free form as like an online to-do list. So that really helps me stay organized. And another really important thing that I do is I really try to limit. This is something it's still work in progress, something I'm still getting better at, really trying to limit how much I do every single day. Because in the past, I put way too much on my plate on a daily basis, and I was spreading myself out too thin, whereas the work I was doing was maybe my focus and energy wasn't there, so that each project wasn't getting the full attention that it deserved. So now I'm actually trying to focus on less projects, but really focus in on those projects really well. And I find that really just having one major goal every day, like one thing, is working out really, really well to do it that way. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, so Facebook Marketplace, one of the challenges with their marketplace is that it is new, so it can be a bit glitchy. There are lots of weird things that will work and then stop working, work on your phone and on your computer, or vice versa. So it's part of the struggle with it. Quite honestly, those things are minor annoyances in my opinion. For what it does, it works really well, and I love it. So I'm not at all complaining overall about Facebook Marketplace. It would be great if those little things could be fixed, but hey, that's the way it is. So kind of backing up, how many hours do I work a day? It's a really hard, it's an impossible question to answer because, so for instance, in January, I worked a lot. I was working about 16 hours a day, every single day, and some days longer than that. And that's because I was trying to create my Facebook Marketplace dropshipping course and making videos about it. And I was putting a lot of time and effort into that. And while growing the Facebook Marketplace, which is growing and starting anything new like that, that's when it requires the most amount of attention and effort. And that's really what I think passive income is about. It's about putting in the time up front, investing that time up front, and then letting that continue to pay you moving forward as long as you put in the right systems to automate them, right? So during that time, I was putting a lot of time in, a ton of time. And then after that, there was work, after the course launched, there was work to do like afterward to kind of wrap things up. And then I'm continuing to see through a lot of the obligations I have and projects I have that I've already started, but I'm not working as much as I was in January. That was a lot of work. And there's some times when I get a little burnt out. I just got to work a couple hours a day or even less, And on the weekends, I try not to work very much at all, so I really give myself a chance to rest. So it really varies. And even like yesterday, I set up my notebook, said this is how much I'm going to work today, So what I'm going to do, got it all done. So I thought I was done for the day, and I start driving, and my brain starts thinking, right? And does that count as work? I think it does, because a lot of my best ideas I get while I'm resting or while I'm driving, while I'm out playing. And those ideas really, that's kind of when they're born. And so like last night, after I drove, I had these ideas. So then I went on my computer and started to kind of work through those ideas and get in my notebook and start to work through those ideas and even start to implement some of them, which I hadn't planned on doing. But those ideas came to me. I was excited by them. And I wanted to kind of jot them down and get started with some of them. So it really varies. There's just no set number. And that's what I really love about this lifestyle, about having online businesses that I run that are not as, I've consciously made them so that I don't have to be anywhere at a set time for the most part. Obviously here for these live streams at the same day and time every week. My group coaching calls same day and time every week, which is fine. But everything else is pretty much, I can do them whenever I want during the day. So I can wake up early and do work. I can stay up late and do work, or do them in the middle of the day. Whatever works for me, works around my schedule, especially traveling full time, where I want to see the places I'm in. And it really gives me the freedom to do that, which I really, really love about having your own online business. Yep. Definitely still profitable. Okay. Jay wants to know, do you feel like you become less social because you talk to a computer screen a lot? Like as a person, do you think you're a dog as a person? So, funny. That's funny. It does feel that way sometimes. Yeah, I do talk to my dog like he's a person sometimes. I think that's actually kind of normal. But no, I think I suffered from that in the past, especially living in New York City and when I was working from home. And I used to, talking about hours to work, I used to work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, for probably about two years. That's not an exaggeration, like nonstop. Maybe just a couple of breaks here and there, but like literally nonstop for over 2 years, about 16 hours a day. If I wasn't actually on my computer doing work, I was thinking about it. So one of my goals over 2020 and definitely more recently is to really find ways to automate more so I can kind of take a step back and enjoy life more. And I think the problem in the past was that I became good at automation, but every moment I freed up, I would then find something else to do. And I'm trying not to do that so much because that just wasn't sustainable. So I'm trying to find more time to socialize with people. Why do people create several stealth accounts? Just in case. Just in case. Not everyone does it. You're in Scottsdale? I didn't know that. Maybe I did know that, actually. I'm not exactly sure where in Arizona we are right now. But maybe I'll post something on Instagram about where we're going to be headed. Oh, we only have 2 minutes left. So let me quickly go through, see if there's any quick questions I can answer. Yeah, for eBay dropshipping, free shipping is the way most people do it. Yeah, I do use hammers a lot. And I think it's just because I used that in some early examples and it just kind of stuck in my head. I always use that in furniture. I do massive sales on Amazon, had 3 Walmart Plus accounts shut down. Don't waste your time. Yeah, so that's one experience. You see a lot with big sellers, but some people get away with it, so it's interesting. Hey, William in the Philippines, what's up? All right, trade secrets. For beginners, I would recommend eBay dropshipping. Hey, Kevin, what's up? No, I don't do that anymore. I've done that in the past. Ooh, that's terrible. So we have a address for our LLC. That's a physical address. Not a PO box. All right. So there we go, guys. That's it. That's all we have time for this week. But thanks so much for the questions. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button down below. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next live Q&A. We do them every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Arizona time, 1 p.m. California time. So if you guys don't want to miss it, all confused with those times, just subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you get alerted on your phone when we actually go live. Thanks so much for checking out the video. I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.